What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we are tackling some more FUT Champions games. First of all, here is my trade pile, keeping you guys up to date with some of the players that I sold. The market right now is so crazy, and we're actually going to talk about the market today and what we can do. And I'm going to talk about squad building today, some fitness card issues, and some other things going forward. But first of all, guys, I just want to say thank you to you amazing viewers. Like, I'm absolutely blown away by how many views this series is getting right now. It's getting to the point where it's almost matching my main channel views. Now, that's crazy for me. For you FIFA Mobile lovers, I will be bringing FIFA Mobile back this week at some point. I explained to you guys, obviously I had a few things going on in my personal life over the weekend. Had to deal with some of that stuff today again. I'm probably going to have to do some more stuff again later on in the week. So, you know, it really just kills my time available to like make videos and stuff when that sort of stuff has to happen. But unfortunately, it has to happen. But today we're going to get this video here. Tomorrow I'm going to do a double upload on this channel. We're going to get one full gameplay and one squad building challenge video. But yeah, overall guys, I mean, the last few days alone, like episode 24 is at 130,000 views, episode 23 is at 105,000 views, episode 22 is at 135,000 views. That is just genuinely outstanding support from you guys, and I'm very, very grateful that you choose to watch me over other people, specifically considering how many amazing FIFA channels there are out there, and how this year it's like my gameplay is pretty tragic. So in terms of a road to glory, not doing too great. You know, we've got an alright record. We're doing good through the divisions. We've got an alright coin balance, an alright team. But this really is mediocre City, isn't it? It's like mediocre City, just crazy. And we end up losing another game, which puts us at 2 wins and 4 losses. Yesterday's episode, I showed you the first 5 games. We're going to have, I think it's 6 or 7 more games today. I've actually got, do you remember yesterday, if you watch my main channel, I didn't upload a squad building challenge yesterday because my Elgato didn't record the footage. Well, it was actually not just for that specific squad building challenge. I'm actually missing a few games here. Most of them losses, which you won't see, but I'll tell you during the individual games in between where we're missing games and what happened in those. But we end up losing our first game of the episode, which was really bad. And FUT Champions for me is so hard because you have to play the games bang, 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 bang. There's no, like, I mean, there is to an extent. You could play 10 games. If you're getting frustrated, you could go take a couple hours off, do what you got to do and come back. But for me, because I'm playing them over 2 accounts, which I'm not going to do in the long run, but just for this first month I am, for me playing them in 2 accounts, I literally have to get 40 games a day done. This weekend, I did achieve that. I didn't achieve that. That's a lie. I fell short on time. Last weekend, I'd nearly done it as well. But last weekend, we played 37 on our road to glory and then stopped because we couldn't get higher ranked. I didn't realise there was monthly leaderboards and monthly rewards. And we got 40 on the main account. This weekend, I got all 40 done on this account. And I only got 36 done on my main account. And from those 36... I won 28 of them. I really could have gone and got elite. Very upset that I ran out of time. Only myself to blame. We end up losing another game there, guys. As you can see, we are now 2 wins and 5 losses. And like I said, I was on tilt at this point. I was so tilted to the point where playing another game was probably inadvisable because I was so frustrated. But the problem with FUT Champions, and again, more specific to me than most, because I'm doing it on 2 accounts, I just had to carry on. One of the biggest things I've noticed again whilst editing through this footage, and it's really weird for me because last weekend whilst I was editing my FUT Champions gameplay, I was like, wow, I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing that wrong, I've got this wrong, I've got that wrong. Throughout the week, I rectified a lot of those mistakes. We won copious amounts of games. We qualified with ease for FUT Champions tournament. I was defending well, I was attacking well. Come back into FUT Champions, lose 1 game, go on tilt, and all of that I worked on over the week just goes straight out the window. And so again, whilst watching through these games, I'm sitting there thinking, what am I doing? Like, why am I defending the way I'm defending? And you'll see in some of these games here today, the panic defending that I'm throwing up is just embarrassing. Like, that of a Division 10 player. I'm literally looking at it thinking, my God, how did I not lose by more? And it's interesting because I'm having more possession and I'm creating more chances than most of my opponents. But when it comes down to the actual defensive, like when I lose possession of the ball, when I'm personally not in possession of the ball, I'm just horrendous, and I've got to fix it for next week because I don't want to have a stressful weekend every weekend where I'm literally hanging on by the skin of my teeth in games. I want to do good, and on that note of doing good, as we win a game, we go 3 wins, 5 losses. One of the things that I noticed this week, more so than previous weeks, we're only like 3 weeks into FIFA, but more so over the previous 3 weeks, is every team that I came up against was considerably better than it was last week. A lot of people last week we came up against a lot of low rated teams, 79, 78, 80 rated players like Welbeck, like Walcott, like Oxlade-Chamberlain, like Rashford, defenders like Reed. And although these players are good and even better with the correct chemistry style on, they're just not as good as the 82, 83, 84 rated players. And while some people would argue that, and if you actually take a look at some of the squads that go to the high rankings in teams, I think the guy that went 40 and 40 last weekend on PlayStation had an absolute bang average team. Whilst team isn't everything, and I will say this throughout the year many times, I don't believe I believe player skill is more important than team. It still does have an impact. That one chance that you miss that a better striker would put away, that one defensive tackle that you missed that a better defender would have been, let's say you've got Reed again, Winston Reed is a perfect example. Let's say Winston Reed with his whatever positioning is out of position for you to force you to concede a goal, whereas someone like your 82 rated Lovren, I think Lovren's 82 rated, or Sacco or whoever it is, would have been in the right position to make that tackle. So one thing I did this week, which I found wrong, because if you guys don't follow Nick's Poor Man Road to Glory, he finished in an amazing position this week, and he should have done better, but he let his, as myself and Nick do many times, we get very emotionally invested in FIFA, and at times it gets the better of us. If Nick managed to keep his cool, he would have finished top 100 in the world. No problem at all, but he lost his emotions a few times, and it cost him games. And that's not that's not a slight on Nick at all. I do it myself more than I would care to admit. But what Nick did was build one team and use his fitness cards. What I did was build 2 good, not great, good teams and rotate them. And what my problem was that I ended up with 2 teams where if I'd actually just had one team, I would have been able to get in much better players that suited me better, that would have allowed me to win more, which is why when we was talking in the Son Player of the Month video yesterday, which is why I didn't show some of the, I had my record and stuff covered, because I didn't want you to see my coins going up and down, which you will see. It's not, I wasn't hiding it because I'm hiding things. You will see it over the course of the episodes. I just didn't want you to see it in that one because I did that one throughout a time period that doesn't fit where you was watching it for. But what I ended up doing in this this Road to Glory, and halfway through the games, is I end up selling one of my teams to just improve my main team and started using my own fitness cards, because I was getting shafted. You're seeing me lose games, and I'm losing them narrowly, and I'm losing them again much like last week. A lot of the games that I'm losing, I'm having more possession, more shots, and I'm just not taking my chances. I'm defending badly, but they are close games that I feel like I can win. And I was doing that last week, although last week I was having close games that I was winning. This week I was having close games that I was losing, and I needed to find an extra edge from somewhere. And the only way I was going to get that extra edge is by really upgrading my team in key areas. I was playing with some players that I had in there for the sake of necessity. For example, Gomez. I'm sure he's a great player. I didn't like him. Nani. I was using Nani because he had 5-star skills, and with a Hunter card he actually has pretty decent stats, but he's generally quite garbage. I would much prefer someone like Carrasco with the Hunter card, who is a much more well-balanced, well-rounded card instead of Nani. Although Nani's quite high rated as well, but Sansone as well. Sansone is a letdown. In divisions, he's great because you're not coming up against the competitiveness that you are in FUT Champions, as we get our 5th win, and my God was I happy to get there. We end up going 5 wins, 5 losses after 10 games. But yeah, so someone like Sansone, as good as his card is, and he actually might get an inform on Wednesday because he scored 2 goals on the weekend, and if he does, it's going to be a much better card for us. But he's low rated, he's not the quickest, his dribbling's alright, he's only got 3-star, 3-star, he's quite small, he's quite weak. He's not the guy that we need. Last week we had 4-1-2-1-2. We had Aduriz and Sansone up front together, and Aduriz was the star man. And is that because it fits my gameplay better, or is that because he's 84 rated and he's just generally better? This week we switched to the 4-3-2-1 because I've been playing with it all week and playing well, and Sansone was just drowned out in every single game. It was embarrassing at times. I would get in behind a defender and garbage defenders, garbage players would just ease Sansone off the ball because he's so weak and he's so slow. He's not like so slow, you know, he's got a hunter card on him. I think he's up to like 93 pace or something, but because of how effective Chem Stars are this year, when you come up against, you know, a Chris Smalling who's got 70 odd paces base stats with a shadow card, Chris Smalling's now on like 82, 83, 84 pace anyway. Now, in the way FIFA works, that's him keeping up with Sansone. So, you know, I basically decided to change my 2 teams and bolster one team up to make it a lot better. And that's where I want to go for this weekend coming up. This weekend coming up, there are no restrictions for the team that you can use in it. So I don't know what team I'm going to build yet. I'm going to see what packs we get from, you know, the end of these FUT Champions games. Wherever we finish, what packs we get, how many coins we end up with. And then I'm going to really take a view on building one really strong team and using my fitness cards to my advantage, because although I still believe the fitness cards, storing them is going to be beneficial in the long run, it's seeming like it's going to be more of a long run than I actually anticipated. And the reason because of that is because EA are giving off so many free packs, so much freedom for people this year, that when you finish your FUT Champions, you might get enough consumables to last you the week without having to go and buy more. So the price of fitness cards is slowly creeping up. But I thought this weekend would have been the weekend where I was able to get rid of those bronze fitness cards for 150 to 200 coins and the squad fitness cards for 600 to 700 coins. The bronze fitness cards were set, if I listed up 100, I'd sell maybe 5 or 6 a time. The squad fitness cards are still only 400 to 500, so they're not at a point where I want to be yet. So I thought, let me just use them whilst they're still this cheap, because we're still going to be using and abusing the bronze pack method to upgrade anyway. So in terms of the fitness cards, I will be using them, and as I say, this weekend I just want to build a solid team, and what I'm going to do is build a solid first 11 and then have 7 very good game-changing subs on the bench. 1 goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 1 attacker. And just instead of investing in 2 teams, have 1 team and a bench that's really good. So in that instance, players like Sansone, who might not be in the main team, will be incredible as an impact sub, because coming on with against a tired defender would be really good, whereas starting against a fully fit defender wouldn't necessarily be the best. Now this game that you're seeing here, I managed to get to 5-4. This guy pulled it back. He scored in the 90th minute, he scored in the 105th minute, he scored in the 115th minute. It was just a hell of a game. One game that I felt like I deserved to win. You can see there we step up and take our penalty and put it in the back of the net. My opponent's first penalty, I dive right. Watch that back. I don't know how, it literally like glitches into the back of the net. It hits the goalkeeper and then like warps into the back of the net. So we go 1-1. My opponent then saves my next penalty, so I'm on the back foot, and I was so angry, man. I was so angry. I was angry that I conceded City goals at City times. I was angry that I missed a penalty, but I ended up saving my opponent's second penalty, so I guessed right both times. I could have saved them both, but unfortunately one of them went in. He steps up to take his third penalty, and although I guessed the correct way again, how does Navas not save that? His hands there, the ball's going at a mile per hour, but unfortunately the game decided that that would fly into the back of the net. So we go 3-2 up. We then save our opponent's fourth penalty. I could have saved all 4 at this point, so I was really disappointed to still be in the penalty shootout, but we end up scoring our 4th out of 5, making it 4-2 on penalties, giving us a win, putting us to a position where we're now 6 wins and I believe 5 losses. So we're finally in a positive outlook. You know, it's taken us 11 games to get here, but we have finally won more than we have lost, which was it was nice, man. Honestly, it was nice because I was having a horrible time. I wasn't enjoying playing FIFA, and like when I lose, I don't enjoy playing anyway. Who does, right? Who likes to lose? But when you're losing in FIFA and you feel like you should be doing better, but you're not, it's even worse than when you're just losing anyway. Like sometimes I lose and I'm like, yo, that guy was just better than me. I deserve to lose. And sometimes I lose and I'm like, how on earth has this happened? Our final opponent for today's got a pretty decent team. Interesting few players in there, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, look how good some of his players are: Willian, Matic, Alderweireld, Chiellini. Like, just players that make the difference in a game that's even for player skill, which is exactly what FUT Champions should be because of how the ELO system works. Like, FUT Champions should be based around skill, like, you know, evenly matched players. In a game mode that's based around evenly matched players, this is where the team makes the difference. And once again, my team came up short and my opponent's team came up big because he had better players. And that's my fault for mismanaging my team and who I bought and who I used. So we end up losing the next game, guys, which puts us at 6 wins and 6 losses over our first 12 games. This is indeed going to be where the video finishes. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.